You know how it is, you've got a source, like this review someone shared of the AutoFull Ergonomic Gaming Chair, the brown leather one.
Right.
And you really want to cut through the marketing fluff and just figure out what really matters.
Yeah, what are the key bits?
Exactly. What helps you decide if this piece of kit is actually right for you? That's what we're going to try and do in this deep dive.
Yeah, you shared this review, and our mission here is, well, it's to get past just the surface stuff.
Okay.
We want to dig into the practical side, maybe even find some surprising things about, its design, how it fits into a gaming setup or maybe a home office.
Looking for those aha moments.
Precisely, those moments that give you a real feel for what this chair actually offers.
Okay, so let's dive right in then. Based on the review you looked at, what were some of the initial things? What jumped out first?
Well, right off the bat, the reviewer seemed pretty happy with the packaging.
Oh, really?
Yeah, said it was compact, but, did a good job protecting everything inside.
That's always a good sign.
And crucially, for anyone who's ever put furniture together.
Uh-oh, I know where this is going.
Yeah, all the parts were clearly labeled.
Oh, thank goodness for that. Seriously, nothing worse than a pile of mystery parts.
Exactly. And the review mentioned assembly was pretty straightforward. Took about 25 minutes for one person.
Not bad. Oh.
Plus, they included all the tools you need. Small thing, maybe, but really convenient.
Definitely. Shows they thought about the whole user experience, not just the chair itself.
Yeah.
So, okay, beyond the box and the build, what about the chair itself? First visual impression.
Color. That was a big one.
The brown PU leather.
Yeah, this deep, rich brown. The reviewer pointed out how different it is from the usual black, red, or blue gaming chairs.
Oh, right, those were everywhere.
So this brown, it just gave it a more sophisticated look. Elegant, maybe?
Interesting.
It sort of hints right away that this chair might be trying to, bridge that gap between pure gaming gear and something a bit more versatile in terms of style.
That makes sense. Like gear that fits into more parts of your life, not just the gaming den.
Exactly. It feels like a trend, maybe, blurring those lines.
Okay, so the review mentioned a race car-inspired design, which is pretty standard for gaming chairs, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
How did that work with the brown leather, though? Did it still scream gamer?
Apparently not so much. It seems the brown color kind of tempers that aggressive racer look.
Oh, okay.
The reviewer said the color, plus the branding being quite subtle, stopped it from looking too flashy.
Gotcha.
So you still get that modern shape, but it's in a color that could genuinely fit into say, a professional home office just as easily as a gaming setup.
So versatility is a key theme here already.
Seems like it, yeah.
Now, PU leather, that can be a bit hit or miss sometimes, can it?
Yeah.
What was his verdict on the quality and feel?
The reviewer seemed genuinely quite pleased, described it as soft with a premium feel to it.
Okay, better than expected, maybe?
Possibly. Obviously, it's not real leather, but the big win is how easy it is to clean.
Oh, yeah, practical points. Spills happen.
Exactly. Especially if you're in the chair for hours, maybe snacking. And beyond the material itself, the review mentioned neat stitching, a solid frame and base, smooth wheels. Gave an overall impression of, decent durability. Didn't feel flimsy.
Okay, so it looks good, feels pretty solid.
Yeah.
But the real acid test for these chairs is comfort, right? Especially for long sessions.
Yeah.
And ergonomics. What did the review say there?
Right, this was the core, really. The ergonomic shape got praise for how it contours to the body, supports the spine's natural curve, and the high backrest gives support basically from your pelvis right up to your neck.
Crucial for posture.
Definitely. And then there's the adjustable lumbar cushion and the headrest pillow, both detachable. These were seen as really key for getting that personalized comfort, tailored support, basically.
Yeah, because one size definitely doesn't fit all with chairs. If it's not comfortable after an hour, what's the point, no matter how stylish?
Exactly.
So what about the actual sitting experience?
Yeah.
Long gaming marathons, long work days.
The seat itself is described as wide, generously padded, and the reviewer specifically said they stayed comfortable even after, long stretches, gaming, working, just chilling.
No reports of getting stiff or uncomfortable.
No, none mentioned, which is a big plus for a chair aiming at this market.
Good, good. And the recline. Gaming chairs love to boast about their recline angles.
Yeah.
How far back does this one go?
It's pretty substantial, 155 degrees.
Whoa.
Yeah, the reviewer said it felt almost like a lounge chair when fully back.
Almost flat then.
Pretty much. It speaks to that idea of needing varied postures, not just sitting bolt upright all day.
True.
And to add to that relaxation potential, there's a pull-out footrest.
Ah, the footrest. For those mid-match breaks or quick naps between emails.
Something like that, yeah. For taking a breather.
Any catches with the recline or the footrest? Any downsides noted?
Yeah, just one specific point, mainly for taller folks.
Yeah.
The reviewer suggested that if you're over, say, 6 feet tall, the footrest might feel more like a calf support.
Ah, not quite a full leg rest then.
Probably not for taller users. So something to manage expectations on if that's you.
Good detail to include. Okay, so comfort sounds pretty solid. Recline is decent with a small caveat. What about the general adjustability? Armrests, height, that sort of thing.
It covers the main bases. You've got standard height adjustment, should fit most desks fine.
Right.
The armrests, they go up and down, vertically adjustable.
Just up and down.
Yeah, that was a point the reviewer made. They don't have that 4D adjustability.
Meaning they don't go forwards, backwards, or swivel side to side.
Correct. So if you really like to fine-tune your arm position precisely, that might feel like a limitation.
Okay. Potential drawback for some. What else?
You get the usual 360-degree swivel, naturally. Smooth rolling wheels were mentioned again. And adjustable tilt tension, so you can control how easily it rocks back.
So a solid set of basic adjustments, but maybe not every single bell and whistle you'd find on like a super high-end ergonomic chair.
That seems to be the takeaway, yeah. A good foundation, but maybe not ultimate customization.
Right, it's always that trade-off between features and price, isn't it?
Usually, yeah.
Okay, let's circle back to the style again. That brown color seems like its versatility was a recurring point.
Absolutely. The review kept mentioning how well that brown PU leather fits into different room styles, works well with wood, neutral tones.
Makes sense.
The key thing seems to be it gives you that gaming chair comfort and support,
Mm-hmm.
but without necessarily screaming gamer setup at everyone who walks into the room. It's just a more refined look, versatile.
So pulling all this together then,
Yeah.
who does this chair seem best suited for, according to the review? Who's the ideal user?
It sounds like a pretty broad church, actually.
Okay.
Gamers, definitely, but maybe ones who want good posture support and a chair that doesn't look, too juvenile or out of place if their setup isn't just for gaming.
Right, maybe in a living room or shared space.
Exactly. And then huge potential for remote workers or students.
Yeah.
People needing a proper ergonomic chair for long hours at a desk, but who also want it to look professional in their home office.
Yeah, the home office aesthetic matters more now.
For sure. And just generally, anyone who cares about how their workspace looks will probably appreciate that brown leather option.
Okay. And did the review mention anything about ideal user size or weight limits?
It did. Noted it seems particularly good for medium-sized users.
Right.
And the max weight capacity was stated as around 150 kilograms.
Which is about 330 pounds.
Yeah, about that. So it should cover a pretty wide range of people.
Okay, good to know. All right, let's get down to the brass tacks then. If you had to summarize, what were the main pros highlighted in the review?
Okay, pros. Definitely the comfort over long sessions was number one. That unique, elegant brown PU leather look, the deep recline with the footrests included, the support from the lumbar and headrest pillows, the fact the PU leather is easy to clean, smooth movement from the wheels, and just its overall versatility, good for gaming, good for work.
It's a strong list.
Okay.
Okay, what about the other side of the coin? What were the main cons or drawbacks mentioned?
The main ones were the armrest adjustment being pretty basic, just up and down, no 4D.
Right.
The footrest potentially being a bit short if you're quite tall.
The calf rest issue?
Yeah. The potential for PU leather to get a bit warm, as it doesn't breathe like fabric or mesh.
A common PU leather thing.
And finally, no memory foam in the padding, which means there's a possibility the cushioning could flatten out over a very long time with heavy use.
Okay, so a balanced view. Some definite strengths, but a few potential compromises depending on your priorities.
Exactly. Seems like a fair assessment.
So the crucial question, value for money. How did the reviewer rate it on that front?
The conclusion seemed to be that it strikes a pretty strong balance.
Yes.
You're getting some premium design touches, like the brown leather and the essential ergonomic features, all at its price point. It might skip some of the really high-end adjustments, maybe.
Like the 4D armrests.
Right. But it delivers well on the core things. Support, comfort, the look, build quality, and the fact it can genuinely work as both a gaming chair and a work chair adds a lot to its value, especially in that mid-range part of the market.
So saves buying 2 separate chairs, potentially.
Could do, yeah.
And the final verdict? Did the reviewer give it a score or a final recommendation?
A score, yeah. A solid 9 out of 10.
Wow. Pretty high.
Yeah, they clearly saw it as a really good all-rounder, comfortable, stylish, versatile, managed to avoid that typical kind of aggressive gamer look while still giving you the ergonomic support you need.
So the bottom line was,
For someone looking for that mix professional look, good supportive comfort, decent recline without wanting to spend top dollar, it seems like a really strong contender.
right. So for you, our listener who shared this review, it sounds like this AutoFull chair in brown offers well, a really interesting mix of style and function.
Mm.
It's clearly trying to be more than just for gaming, aiming for anyone who spends a lot of time sitting, but wants something that, looks a bit more grown up or fits into a wider range of home styles.
Yeah, that brown leather really pushes it in that direction. It sounds like a solid choice if you value the ergonomics, but also really care about that less gamery aesthetic in your space.
Exactly. So as you think about your own needs for a chair, hopefully these insights from the review help you weigh up how well this one aligns with what you're looking for.
Yeah, definitely food for thought there.
And on that note, here's maybe a final little thought to chew on. We've talked about how this chair blends a professional look with gaming features. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other things in our daily lives, tools or environments that seem like they belong in totally separate categories might actually be evolving to offer these kinds of surprisingly harmonious combinations?